It's not uncommon to walk into a fast food chain, order a single meal, and end up eating half a week's worth of your sodium, sugar, and saturated fat, and still be hungry a few hours later. Now imagine eating meals like that regularly, week after week, year after year, letting it compound. Today, we're going to reveal the truth about the chains and the items you should avoid at all costs. And for those times when you do need food on the go, we'll show you the 4 chains that are actually doing it right. First on the list, McDonald's. Here's how you eat an entire day of food in 15 minutes. Walk into any McDonald's. Order a double quarter pounder, large fries, and a large Coke. Done. That single combo blows past your daily limit on calories, past your daily limit on added sugar by 72%, past your daily limit on saturated fat by 60%, and pushes your sodium to the brink. 1 meal, 4 limits. You'd think a meal that broke 4 daily limits would leave you stuffed. It doesn't. The salt, the fat, the sugar, every part of this combo is built to keep you eating past the point where your body would normally tell you to stop. A few hours later, you're hungry again. Dinner stacks on top. Now you're at 2 days of food in 1 day. Then it gets weirder. McDonald's fries contain 19 ingredients. Among them, dimethyl polysiloxane, an anti-foaming agent also used in silicone cork, and TBHQ, a petroleum-derived preservative the FDA caps at 0.02% of total fat content because higher doses cause problems in lab animals. This is a French fry. It used to have 3 ingredients. And don't think ordering smaller saves you. The sodium is baked into the core recipes. Every menu, every combo, every location. There's no smart way to order here. There's only ordering less of it. So no, this isn't a glitch. This is fast food working exactly the way it was designed to. Think McDonald's is the worst offender for hidden ingredients? The famous 11 herbs and spices at this next chain isn't what they tell you. And once you know what's really driving the flavor, you can't unsee it. Number 2. KFC. The 11 herbs and spices is the most famous recipe in fast food. It's also mostly marketing. The flavor you actually taste is salt, white pepper, and MSG. And that's why a single 3-piece combo hits 125% of your daily sodium. That same combo also delivers 1,300 calories, 65% of a full day's intake. Even a single famous bowl passes 100% of a full day's sodium on its own. 1 meal is enough to overload your system. Then everything stacks together. Fries, biscuits, mashed potatoes, gravy. They all add more fat, refined carbs, and sodium. What looks like a side becomes a second meal. You might think choosing fewer pieces or skipping sides helps. But the food is still fried, still loaded with sodium, still engineered to keep you eating. There is no smart way to order here. And if frying sounds bad, this next chain serves a combo that should come with a warning label. It delivers more than 2 full days of saturated fat in a single order. And it's on the lunch menu. Third up, Wendy's. The triple Baconator combo packs 2,160 calories, 3,400 milligrams of sodium, and 50 grams of saturated fat. More than 2 full days of saturated fat in one order. Wendy's calls it lunch. That's 108% of your daily calories, 150% of your daily sodium. 1 meal. Take it apart and the picture gets worse. Triple beef patties, 660 calories. 6 bacon strips, 200 more plus processed nitrates. 3 slices of American cheese, another 240. Large fries, 540 on top of that. And then the Frosty, 460 calories and 70 grams of sugar. That's more sugar than 2 cans of Coke, after a meal that already broke every limit on the list. Even the dessert side has its own twist. The Frosty isn't ice cream. It's a frozen dairy dessert held together by stabilizers like carrageenan, guar gum, and cellulose gum. That's what gives it the texture that lets it stay upside down in the cup. If you care about your heart, skip this chain entirely. You'd think after Wendy's, the portions couldn't get any more extreme. But at least Wendy's lets you order a small. At our next chain, that's not even an option. And a single regular burger has more calories than most full meals. Number 4. Five Guys. When nutrition researchers rank fast food burgers by calorie load, Five Guys consistently lands at the top, above McDonald's, above Wendy's, above almost everyone. And every single thing they sell is sized up by default. And here's the trap. Five Guys doesn't feel like junk food. The burger tastes fresh. The fries
Even
look
a little
hand-cut.
cheeseburger
The peanuts
comes in
feel
at
old
550
school. But
calories,
fresh doesn't
over
mean
a quarter
light.
of a full
You can
day's
still eat a
intake.
full day's
A
calories
regular
out of a
Five
paper
Guys
bag.
burger has more calories than a full sit-down meal at most restaurants. There's no true small option, and fries are served in portions that overflow the bag. That's not generosity, it's strategy. The burgers follow the same structure. Multiple patties, cheese, and sauces stacked together, and the meal never feels as heavy as it actually is. You might think splitting portions or skipping sides helps. Five Guys makes that hard on purpose. Bottomless fries in the bag, free peanuts at the counter. The whole setup pushes you to keep eating. Even small details add up. Sauces, shared fries, extra toppings. They turn into full servings without you noticing. Up next is the chain most people think is a cheap, harmless meal. And that couldn't be further from the truth. Wait until you hear how they actually make the sauce. It went viral for all the wrong reasons. Fifth on the list, Little Caesars. A few years ago, a Little Caesars employee posted a video of marinara sauce being mixed with a power drill in a plastic bucket on the floor. It went viral. And it's the most honest moment this chain has ever had, because the food itself is just as casual about your health. A single hot and ready pepperoni pizza hits 2,140 calories, more than a full day of food, and 4,260 milligrams of sodium. That's nearly 2 days' worth in one order. The slices are light, easy to eat, easy to lose count. One turns into 3 before you realize you've eaten half a pizza. And sharing doesn't save you. Half a pizza still puts you past a full day of sodium. There's no version of this order that's actually small. And as bad as a cheap pizza is, the next chain finds a way to do worse by pretending it's just a fun, casual drive-in stop. Number 6. Sonic. 3 items, 1 order. Half a week of nutrition limits gone. A large Oreo peanut butter shake, a large popcorn chicken, and a large fries. That's it. That order pushes nearly 3,000 calories, over 6,000 milligrams of sodium, around 170 grams of sugar, which means roughly 150% of your daily calories, nearly 3 days of sodium, nearly 3 days of sugar in one sitting. And here's the part that should stop you cold. The shake alone clears 1,800 calories, and almost all of that sugar comes from this one drink. More than 3 days' worth in a single cup. Add the saturated fat in the same cup, and you've blown past 2 days' worth before you've touched the food. This is what makes Sonic different. The damage is in how easily they stack. A shake feels like a drink. Popcorn chicken feels like a snack. Fries feel like a side. Your brain registers 3 light things. Your body registers 3 days of nutrition. And the slushes and limeades do the same thing. Some carry more sugar than 3 cans of soda in 1 cup. It tastes refreshing. It lands like a dessert. Same trick, different cup. Sonic stacks the damage in plain sight. The next chain does the opposite. It hides everything inside items so small you'd never think twice about ordering 3 or 4 of them. And inside the meat itself, there's something most people don't know is there.
7th up, Taco Bell.
Taco Bell is the only chain on this list that gets worse the more responsibly you think you're ordering. Small items, a light lunch. I'll just grab a couple things. That's the trick, and it's exactly how a $7 order clears 1,500 calories without ever feeling like a real meal. A Crunchwrap Supreme sits at 530 calories, around 25% of a full day's intake, and 1,220 milligrams of sodium, which is more than 50% of your daily limit. That's already a heavy hit from a single item, and the menu is built to make you stack 2 or 3 of them before you feel full. Loaded burritos, tacos, and nachos pack cheese, sauces, seasoned meats, and refined carbs into tight portions. The calories and sodium climb fast, and it still fits in one hand. Here's another detail most people don't know. Taco Bell's seasoned beef is 88% beef. The other 12% is water, oats, yeast extract, maltodextrin, and binders. All technically allowed, but it's why the texture is uniform every single time, and why it doesn't quite behave like ground beef. The whole menu is structured to keep you adding more. 2 items clears a full meal's worth of calories. 3 is a binge. And you'll still be hungry an hour later. That's how Taco Bell works against you while the meal is still in your hand. The next chain takes a different approach. It lets you finish the meal first, then delivers a second wave of damage that most people specifically come here for.
Closing out the 8, Dairy Queen. Dairy Queen's real problem is the timing. You finish a full meal, your body is already processing fat, sodium, and refined carbs, and then a large chocolate chip cookie dough blizzard arrives on top of it. 1,370 calories, 151 grams of sugar. That's not a treat, that's a second meal. Here's where it gets weirder. The soft serve in many Dairy Queen items has under 5% milk fat, which means in many states it can't legally be called ice cream. That's why it's labeled soft serve. Many large desserts carry a full day's sugar in a single cup, like adding 3 cans of soda the moment you finish eating. A smaller size doesn't solve the problem. Even reduced portions still carry enough sugar to turn a normal day's intake into a single dessert. Over time, this becomes routine. A meal becomes a meal plus dessert, then plus dessert every time. That's how a normal day's intake doubles before you notice. 8 chains down, but there are 4 more worth talking about, and these 4 are where the rules change. The difference comes down to one thing: real ingredients. 2 of them are genuinely better than people think. 1 of them is worse than its reputation, and 1 is going to surprise you. First of the 4, Subway. Here's the good news. Not every chain is rigged against you. Subway has a healthy reputation. Most people never question it. But the truth is more complicated. Order it wrong and a single sandwich can carry more sodium than a Big Mac.
Order it right, and it becomes one of the cleanest meals in fast food. Every chain lets you swap stuff out. That's customization. What sets Subway apart is what's already on the line. Lean proteins, fresh vegetables, whole grain options. Every day, every location. A clean meal at most chains means subtracting things that are bad. A clean meal at Subway means choosing from things that are already good. A well-built sandwich with lean protein, vegetables, and light sauces lands at 300 to 500 calories, about 15 to 25% of a full day's intake, while keeping you full thanks to the fiber and protein. That's significantly lower than most standard fast food meals, often cutting intake by nearly half compared to typical combo options. And because every ingredient is visible during prep, you make better choices automatically. You can't ignore what you're putting in the sandwich when it's right in front of you. Subway gives you a path to a clean meal, but you have to know how to walk it. The next chain doesn't ask you to know anything. The food on the line speaks for itself. Number 2, Chipotle. Chipotle is on this list for one reason: real ingredients. Real chicken, real steak, beans cooked from scratch, brown rice, vegetables that look like vegetables. Compare that to what we just covered. 88% beef with binders, soft serve that can't legally be ice cream, fries with anti-foaming agents, Frosties held together by gum. Chipotle isn't doing magic, it's just using food. Rice, beans, protein, vegetables, toppings. Every ingredient is adjustable. Want more protein? Ask. Less rice? Ask. The bowl bends to fit what you're actually trying to do. A balanced bowl runs 500 to 700 calories, about 25 to 35% of your daily intake, with 30 grams of protein or more. That's why Chipotle keeps showing up on rankings as one of the healthier fast food options in the country. The main advantage is portion control. More vegetables, moderate rice, lean protein, and you keep the calorie total in check without losing the satisfaction. Everything's in one bowl, so you can actually see what you're eating. Hard to overdo it when it's right in front of you. The one trap is the toppings line. Load up on cheese, sour cream, queso, and heavy sauces, and you can shift a 600-calorie bowl into the 1,000-plus range without realizing it. That's the only place Chipotle works against you. And unlike the chains in the first half of this video, you're the one driving that decision. Chipotle is genuinely one of the strongest options on this list. The next chain is one of the trickiest, a chain whose entire reputation is built on being healthy, where one specific item carries more sodium than a Big Mac and almost a full day's calories before you've added a side. The gap between what people think they're ordering and what's actually in the bowl is one of the widest in fast food. Third up, Panera Bread. Panera earns its place on this list, but only if you know how to order. Done right, it's one of the few chains where you can build a meal that's genuinely balanced. Done wrong, and you've just eaten a full day's sodium in one bowl. A salad with light dressing stays between 300 and 500 calories, packed with fiber and real vegetables. Soups bring volume and warmth without piling on calories. A simple sandwich, built clean, stays balanced and filling. That's the half of the menu that earns the healthy reputation. The other half is where most people get caught. Certain bread bowls hit 890 calories and 2,350 milligrams of sodium. Basically, a full day's sodium in a single item. Same chain, same trip, different universe. Like Subway, Panera is a chain where the reputation works against you. The chain itself isn't the problem. Your order is. The last chain on this list flips the script entirely. It gets grouped in with every fast food chain it shouldn't be. and one item on its menu has a protein-to-calorie ratio better than most grilled chicken you'd cook at home. It's the most overlooked option in fast food, and it's about to make sense why. Last on the list, Chick-fil-A. Same story at Chick-fil-A. The grilled chicken fillet is much closer to actual chicken than most fast food protein. No mystery binders, no protein extenders, no 88% meat workarounds. Just real chicken with a marinade. And when the protein is real, the math gets unreal. An 8-piece serving of grilled nuggets is just 130 calories, about 6 to 7% of a full day's intake, and around 25 grams of protein. That's one of the strongest protein-to-calorie ratios across major fast food chains. That means you stay full for hours without burning through your day's calories. That combination barely exists in fast food. Yes, the heavier options are still on the menu. But unlike every chain in the first half of this video, a clean choice is right there if you want it. 12 chains. 8 to walk away from, 4 to keep in your back pocket. Now you know what's actually behind that normal meal and why you were hungry again an hour later. So before you go, I want to know, what's your go-to fast food chain? And if it made the list, are you still going back? Drop it in the comments. I read every one. We just broke down why these chains are unhealthy, but so is fake cheese, and it's everywhere in grocery stores, completely misrepresented. It might be in your fridge right now. On screen is a video revealing 8 fake cheese brands and 4 that are actually real. If this changed how you eat, like and subscribe. I drop facts like these every week.